All right. So over to you.
Okay. Yeah. So by my looking at my online ID, a lot of you might recognize me on Twitter. Uh, so I am from overseas. I won't tell you exactly where I'm from, which country I'm from, just to be discreet. But uh, हम like मैं और मेरे परिवार हम सुशांत को काफी टाइम से जानते हैं. We started watching Sushant on Jalak Dikhalaja dance show,
Hmm.
and wow, he is just an amazing dancer. Everybody knows Sushant because of his dance, and from his serial such as Pavitra Rishta, we used to watch Pavitra Rishta, and then suddenly this news came on 14th June. um you know uh I was at work, and at work we have a TV, where the news is always, 24 hours news is going on, and this news flashed across the screen and I just couldn't believe it. My heart told me that no, this cannot be possible. So then I came looking for answers, and I came to Twitter, and I found my soul family. And I'm grateful, I'm thankful to Sushant, and all my lovely brothers and sisters and friends that I have met on Twitter. And a group of us have come together to do some research as to what could have happened and what is the truth. We are trying to all find the truth. And Pooja ji, जैसे आपने बोला था कि हम एक family हैं, so we should not, be hijacking each other on Twitter or overtaking each other or even
Absolutely.
fighting or arguing. We all have our difference of opinions. That's fine. But at the end of the day, we are all trying to find that truth, right? And so, yes. तो हमने research किया, a group of us, and we came to know that Sushant was on a mission in Bollywood. So the mission is and was to save kids. So how we came to know this was that we were researching all the events that happened relating to 14th June, and उसमें कुछ बातें निकल आई कि relating to kids. Um, I don't want to go into detail, but we all know that there's a lot of child trafficking, human trafficking going on in the world. And we feel that Sushant took high interest in this, and he was on a mission to save kids. Maybe there are some things that he saw while he was in the industry that struck a chord, and and then he just started his mission. So we also feel that he had come up with some dreams. Everybody knows about his 150 dreams, his dream list. Everybody has been talking about it, sharing it on Twitter, etc. And we feel when the group of people studied in depth these dreams and what they could really mean, like, are they just on the surface? For example, एक dream मैंने पकड़ा कि Sushant had mentioned that he had gone to Disney, correct?
Yes.
तो हम जैसे uh, as kids we think Disney is such a beautiful magical place, or you go there, you will see Mickey Mouse, you will see Donald Duck and some big castles, and it's just like a fairyland. तो जब हमने एक research किया कि अगर Sushant was on a mission to save kids from child trafficking वगैरह,
mm,
So is his dreams also connected with his mission to save
mm,
kids?
mm,
For example, to Disney is a place where all children and families go with their parents, etc.
mm,
So what actually goes on at Disney? I
mm,
mean, is there child trafficking going on there?
mm,
You know, are dealers coming and, paying big bucks to take away children, for whatever evil purposes?
mm,
Um, are there secret tunnels and gates there where they take away children without the parents knowing?
mm,
Because there are, they have their ways of trafficking kids.
mm,
So, what I feel is that Sushant possibly went to Disney to check all this out. कि
mm,
वगैरह ये like होता है ये चीज. So we feel that this, all his dreams and um, his purpose of being in Bollywood, uh, the deeper depth of it was this only,
mm,
to fight child trafficking and save the kids.
mm,
So this is something to think about deeper, and I encourage all his fans that are listening to us right now to do research and go in depth and see if this can be possible.
mm,
Because kuch, everybody knows the story of 14th June, and kuch हमने इस इसके you can say related हमने सुना था, right?
mm,
के minor वाली बात, yeah.
mm,
um
mm,
yeah, so
mm,
I don't want to go into details, but overall, um there is a group of us who do believe that his mission is much, much more
mm.
deeper, and it has something relating to saving kids and fighting child trafficking.
Right.
So my purpose of and I want to thank you, Pooja ji, for allowing me to come on your platform, uh, to discuss, so this is just an awareness, that this could be a possibility,
Mm,
besides just the nepotism part.
right.
Deeply connected to this whole case. So I hope Bab joins us shortly, because
Mm,
she will elaborate more on this.
mm,
And for now, Pooja ji, that's all I have to say. Um, but yes, I think if we all warriors come together, or we are one family, and we should not be arguing or hijacking each other on Twitter. Let's come together and try to find out the actual truth, and hopefully whatever I have brought forth on this platform, other warriors can also feel free to research and make connections, um, you know, and yeah, wherever everybody is, do your part to save kids. That's it.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you so, so much for coming over. And again, you don't have to thank me for, there's nothing that I'm doing. This is a platform that belongs to the whole Soul family, and anybody in the Soul family can come here and express undoubtedly. So, there is no, there's nothing that I'm doing special here. But yeah, thank you so much for bringing forth that point. And yes, Bab will come, and she will definitely, she has a lot to say. And we started before time, so that there is, we can talk about everything. So what we will do is, yes, we will all think about that. And I think, yes, it is one of the point points that we already have somewhere, कि child trafficking को लेकर या बच्चों को लेकर कुछ था, और वो सुशांत always he gives that energy always. So I think 2-3 दिन पहले he had given that energy, so it is definitely there. And yes, I think that we all will think further about that. And yes, about all of us being a soul family, and not hijacking each other, or not trying to cut each other, or not trying to fight with each other, I think is one of the most important things, because that's what I was talking about, that if we are fighting for the same cause, where does this belongs to me and I want to do this and you can't do this comes, that this shouldn't come,
बिल्कुल.
because as many there are, the more the merrier, basically the more people that are fighting for it, the better it is. But yes,
Absolutely.
we have some people like that, who are not there for a cause, they are for their personal benefits, so that's when this happens.
Okay, Pooja ji. I'll just be in the background, and
All
when
right. All right. I think हमारे पास Bab also has come, so let's hear her out as well. और उन्होंने कुछ सुशांत के जोडियक के बारे में भी बोलना था, तो जोडियक नहीं, टैटू के बारे में भी बोलना था, तो मैंने अनम्यूट कर दिया है दोनों को. अच्छा, ओके, सो अनम्यूट, बैब यू कैन आल्सो अनम्यूट. एंजल, मैंने आपको अनम्यूट कर दिया है, एंड ओवर टू बोथ ऑफ यू गाइस. ओके.
Okay,
welcome,
sure.
Bab. We were waiting for you only.
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah. So, first of all, दी बहुत अच्छा लगा prayers में शामिल होके. एक कॉल आउट है बस, हमारी दोनों की थोड़ी हिंदी इंग्लिश सब मिक्स्ड होने वाली है, तो आई होप दैट्स फाइन. So yeah, दीदी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक्स फॉर गिविंग अस द अपॉर्चुनिटी, राइट, कि हम लोग भी सुशांत के मिशन में वर्चुअली इंक्लूड हो सके. क्योंकि मैं यूएस से ज्वाइन हुई हूँ, एनजी कनाडा में रहती है, तो वट एवर अपॉर्चुनिटी वी हैव गॉटन, सो थैंक यू फॉर दैट. वांटेड टू से दैट. सो दी, थोड़ा फॉर्मेट में बताने वाली थी. कितना टाइम है हमारे पास?
Till 8:30 we have time, don't worry. Angel ने कुछ already share कर भी लिया है, because she came early, तो
अच्छा,
she shared a little bit about the child trafficking से related और उनके Disney dream से related,
ओके,
and
ठीक है.
rest is now over to you.
ओके, ऑसम. या ठीक है. तो फिर मे बी माई I'll start with my journey, and then we'll talk a little bit. I have some data. I thought that थोड़ा डेटा शेयर करेंगे ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग के बारे में, और इंडिया में कैसे उसको टैकल करने की कोशिश हो रही है, और फिर काइंड ऑफ एन अपील टू द ऑडियंस, राइट, कि कैसे हम विजिलेंट
Hmm.
होके हाउ वी कैन कंट्रीब्यूट फ्रॉम बीइंग अ सिटीजन, टू सिटीजन. तो थोड़ा सा डेटा शेयर करना कर दूंगी.
Hmm.
एंड देन उसके बाद टैटू, आई थिंक वैसे तो ऑलमोस्ट सब लोगों को जो भी इंक्लूडेड हैं, आपके ऑडियंस हो या फिर वॉरियर्स हो, ट्विटर पे हो, या वर्ल्ड वाइड, सबको पता है, तो फिर स्टिल रीटरेट अ लिटिल बिट मोर अबाउट द टैटू. एंड देन मैंने एक पोएम लिखी थी काफी महीने पहले, तो हम लोगों ने मजाक भी किया था कि ओके, वैसे तो ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म पे अभी चंदा मामा दूर के रिलीज नहीं हो सकती, बट
Hmm.
जादू आईडी हैं, तो उन्होंने बोला ओके हम लोग रिलीज करेंगे ट्विटर ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म पे, राइट. तो एक पोएम लिखी थी जो मैंने अभी ट्विटर पे शेयर भी की थी 1-2 दिन पहले, तो आई कैन रिसाइट दैट पोएम ऑल्सो. And then we'll close with kind of an appeal. We have a request for people to join in on Twitter, and then one or two other things I wanted to touch upon. So if
Hmm.
that's fine.
Sure.
ठीक है. Okay, so yeah, मेरी journey, I think पवित्र रिश्ता started at least जी पे आना 2009 में, and कुछ episodes देखे. It was a very homely um, acting drama, right? So that's how initial connection हुआ सुशांत के साथ. But then life happened, and then 11 years. So 11 is, I know Pooja di, you always talk about numbers, right? So I was just yesterday calculating, what happened. So after 11 years, January 2020, I was traveling back from India in a flight to US. और उसमें केदारनाथ मूवी, आई डिडंट नो अबाउट दैट मूवी ऑल्सो। तो बस मुझे ऐसा अच्छा लगा कि ओके आई नो सुशांत लाइक फ्रॉम पवित्र रिश्ता, ओके लेट मी वॉच दिस मूवी। तो वो मूवी लगाई, और इतना ब्यूटीफुल मैसेज है उस मूवी में। इनफैक्ट उनके जितने भी मूवीज हैं सब में बहुत ही अच्छा मैसेज है। इट्स नॉट ऑल अबाउट रोमांस और ड्रामा और ऑल सॉन्ग्स, राइट। सेम इज द केस विद हिज टी शर्ट्स। अगर आप ट्विटर पे जाएं या जनरली फोकस करें, राइट, दिस मैसेज इज फॉर ऑडियंस, राइट, कि हर एक टी शर्ट पे एक वेरी स्पेसिफिक उनका मैसेज था, राइट। एंड वी ऑलवेज से दैट कि उन्होंने अब ऑडियंस के लिए ऑलवेज मैसेज छोड़े हैं। इट्स अप टू अस टू decode, राइट। सो या मूवीज हों, उनके मैसेजेस हों, स्पेशली उनके ड्रीम्स, आई थिंक देर आर 150 बट वी फोकस यूजुअली ऑन 50। हर एक ड्रीम इज नॉट अबाउट लाइक ओके हमें एक गोल है, एक मेरा ड्रीम है, मुझे वहां जाके घूम के आना है, राइट। इट वाज ऑलवेज देयर इज अ मीनिंग बिहाइंड दैट, राइट। उनको वहां क्यों जाना था, वहां पर ऐसा क्या होता है, राइट। सो अगर हम उस पर्सपेक्टिव से दोबारा उनका सब सब चीजों को अनफोल्ड करें, राइट, तो एक नया पर्सपेक्टिव, एक नए सुशांत को हम जानने की कोशिश करते हैं। तो एवरी टाइम I listen or I hear or I try to decode, it seems like, oh, I didn't know this about Sushant, right? So it's been like about 3 years, 2.5 years, but it seems like every day I'm learning more, right? So I think वो perspective रखेंगे curious. I know there's a lot of confusion उनके case को लेके भी, लेकिन एक वो curious perspective रख के कि हाँ जो होगा अच्छा होगा और जल्दी होगा। एंड जो भी messages आप देते हैं शो पे, it is so positive. मैंने कभी लाइव नहीं अटेंड किया, बट जब भी मैं रिकॉर्डेड वर्जन देखती हूँ, मन करता है देखने का। तो ऐसा लगता है कि वी आर कनेक्टिंग with him via your recordings, right? So yeah, thanks for doing that for all of us. um या सो केदारनाथ की बात कर रहे थे, राइट। तो उसमें भी उन्होंने इतना ब्यूटीफुल मैसेज दिया है कि जब हम लाइक हमारा जन्म होता है, राइट, वी डोंट नो, लाइक वी हैव द रिकॉर्डिंग्स ऑफ द पास्ट, राइट। वी इन री इनकारनेशन में हम लोग बिलीव करते हैं, बट वी डोंट नो एनीथिंग, वी डोंट हैव मेमोरीज, राइट। फिर उसके बाद हम एक घर में जाते हैं, वेदर इट इज अ हिंदू घर, सिख और मुस्लिम, राइट। एंड वो वैल्यूज जो हमें पेरेंट्स देते हैं, वी पिक अप दोज वैल्यूज, वी पिक अप द वैल्यूज फ्रॉम द सोसाइटल सेटअप, राइट। या हमारा एनवायरनमेंट, हम किस स्कूल में जाते हैं, किस तरह के इंटरेक्शंस होते हैं हमारे साथ। तो उस मूवी में वही दिया है कि लाइक लव इज ऑफ द utmost importance, राइट। इट डजंट मैटर आप कहाँ से बिलोंग करते हैं, और जस्ट नॉट फ्रॉम लाइक रोमांटिक पीस ऑफ मैसेज, बट जस्ट जनरली उनका किसी तरह सबको दर्शन कराने लेके जाना, ये नहीं समझना कि कौन छोटा है कौन बड़ा है, राइट। एनीथिंग ही शेयर्ड in that movie, in Sarah's character, right, it was so beautiful, right। And then I think somehow उनका real character, right, जितना हमें जानने को मिला है, I have never met him, never talked to him, so उस कैरेक्टर से भी कुछ एक कनेक्शन होता है। तो बस वो मूवी आई कुड नॉट फिनिश दैट इन वन गो। इंटरप्ट हो रहा था कि एंग्शियस फीलिंग की, oh okay, if this would happen to somebody, right, how would they feel? So 3 बार उसको स्टॉप करके फिर स्टार्ट करके फिनिश की। एंड सो आई थिंक there was some connection where it's like needs to know a little bit more about him. And then I think June 2020 happened, all those events, whatever it was. I believe it was a setup, we'll see. Um, and then started to connect with Vibhor and Republic and Ishkaranji and then Fogat Films. Anyhow, it started to become a little bit complex. And so I said, let's not focus on what happened. Let's focus on what his mission was, what his dreams were, and then try to understand and see how we can pitch in. And so that's how I think Feb of 2022, this year, I actually was, I would say, guided to come there. Somehow I connected with a group in US, like how the algorithm works, and child trafficking, human trafficking, all those posts, tweets. And then I suddenly started to get connected with people who are more from India, एंड देन एक बस हमारा एक सोल फैमिली बन गई, ग्रुप बन गया. एंड देन एम्ब्रेस जी का चैनल हो या आपसे कनेक्शन हो, वो कनेक्शंस जस्ट बनते चले गए. And we have not met any of us, right? But we are on tele, we are on WhatsApp. It just feels like family, exactly like family. And hopefully we'll meet one day. But yeah, so that's the story. Last 9 months, I think were marvelous in getting to know Sushant again. And these numbers, these numbers are dropping 11, 9. um, so yeah, so that's the background on how I got to know him. And then as Chhat Puja hai, so I think again related to prayers. So um, for all the audience, right? Chhati Mata protects all the children from diseases and problems. So Sushant, message for you if you are here, energetically, physically, whichever way, uh, हम लोग सब तुम्हारे साथ हैं. And then may God give you strength to come out and tell the world the truth, and then prayers for your good health. So with that prayer, I'll share a little bit information about trafficking. So I was doing some research. I also post a lot of tweets related to that area. So 2020 ka India ka crime report, it said that 88% of victims, right, of human trafficking are actually women and children, right? So it's not men, but children and human for a reason, right? And out of that, about 47%, so like half, are actually children, right? And once that happens, most of the main three reasons where they are being used is one, prostitution, of course, which I think most of us already know,
Yes.
but then forced labor, right?
Yes.
And then domestic servitude. So these,
Mm,
like how they are being exploited, to not being given an opportunity to एजुकेशन के लिए हो, या
mm.
फिर जैसे उनका
Even
चाइल्डहुड
normal
होना
life.
चाहिए,
Mm,
नॉर्मल लाइफ, राइट, लाइक बेसिक नीड्स
mm,
नहीं मीट कर पाते. एंड देन इंडिया, क्योंकि अपनी पॉपुलेशन वैसी है,
mm,
तो आई थिंक इट हैज बिकम अ सोर्स and the target and the transit point for most of the human trafficking, right? So it's been so bad. uh,
mm,
and then हम conviction rate की बात करें, I know we always look at our judicial system as not so great, not so good, but I think there are some restrictions, right? And that's where, as
mm.
citizens, we can pitch
Absolutely.
in. So conviction rate के बारे में उस report में बोला गया कि it is conviction rate for any human trafficking crimes is only 10%,
Mm.
right? Which is very low.
It's very
But
bad.
then yeah, exactly, right. The good thing about is it also had some positive view to it, and it said that the Ministry of Home Affairs and Government of India had reached out to the states and union territories to expedite and set up the anti human trafficking units. So
Mm,
they are doing a great job in whatever way possible. And as we
true.
know that कोई भी government हो, right, चाहे वो बीजेपी की हो, चाहे coalition government हो, या कांग्रेस की हो, every government is going to have restrictions, right, as to what we can or
Always
cannot
does.
do
Mm,
due to resources. So
mm,
इसीलिए मतलब आपके चैनल से लोगों को ये बताना था कि I think unless we stand up like Shashank stood up for a cause, it's very difficult for any country to make progress in any of these crimes, right? So
mm,
if we can be vigilant, be aware that yes, these are the numbers, which are being shared, and then it is a big problem, and make that as a priority, and then just be aware of our surroundings. कहीं हमें ऐसा डाउट आता है, क्राइम दिखता है, please report that to child welfare or any authorities at whichever level, right? If you live in village, city, please do speak up, right? And then start to discuss. It's not a taboo topic, right? I have seen that YouTube channels pe mostly people discuss about and interconnect anything and everything with Sushant, right? Yes, if it is positive, please do so. And this, if this is the mission, right? This is the mission he is on. Then I think it's very important that we start to discuss these things in our society, right?
Absolutely.
When we go to religious places, please don't just talk about, um, you know, what's happening on that day and what's happening in the family, but talk about these issues which are impacting children, women,
Absolutely.
and then in general the society, right? Office or your society meetings, right? Make that as an agenda to discuss that there. And then friends and families. I think the more confidence they will have in these missions and what Sushant stood for, then any news or speculation we hear in news via media, which may have their own agendas, I think those layers of illusion will start to go off, right? So if we can stick to the uh, thing that yes, this is his mission, and whatever he did was for it, then
Mm.
anything else, all the illusions just washes off, right? And we are very
Absolutely.
focused on this is what he stood for, this is what he's working towards, and how can we as citizens start to contribute, right? um,
Absolutely.
so so I think अपना focus वही होना चाहिए if we are true SSRians, or we call ourselves warriors, and this is what Angie and I are trying to do via being on Twitter. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's a little bit about data I wanted to share to set the stage. um, Moving on to the tattoo, I think everybody would have noted, and I think I have put it on my profile just for reference. Um, I think he said that this tattoo is a dedication to his mother,
Mm.
and it was his first tattoo. We don't know how many more tattoos he has on him now. We'll see,
Mm.
we'll figure out once he comes back. And so, first tattoo had 5 elements, and he said, Mother and me. And so, when he talks about mother and me, he doesn't talk about Shushant and Shushant's mother, right? He talks about all the children in the country and world. He talks about all the mothers, right? And his mission is to save children and then make the mothers happy, right? um, जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि एक माँ का सारा संसार उनका बच्चा होता है, राइट?
Mm.
सो आई वुड से दैट फॉर सुशांत, सब माओं को खुश रखना और सब बच्चों को सेव करना, I think that's the utmost happiness for him. So if you see in that tattoo, you would see that there is a mother and then is a child, right? And
Mm.
in a inverted triangle, right?
Mm.
And then inverted triangle, I was looking into that, what does it stand for? It stands for a woman, a mother, all about positivity, बैलेंस एंड क्रिएटिविटी. आई नो पूजा दी, आप बहुत बात करते हो कि हमें बैलेंस्ड रहना है. सुशांत इज आस्किंग अस टू बी पेशेंट
Yes.
and just stick with the mission and then help him, right? So it's
Mm.
all about power and strength, right? So
Absolutely.
हमें उनको डिमोटिवेट नहीं करना है, हमें उनको पावर देनी है, हमें उनकी स्ट्रेंथ बनना है. And then if we keep those things in mind, I think he will come victorious, and I think he has already won the war. It just we don't know what has happened in the background yet. So more to come. And then you will see that in that tattoo, so there is a child and a mother in an inverted triangle, which is
Mm.
again circled by the protective circle, right? So he's saying that here we need to protect the mother and the child, right,
Mm.
and be the power and the strength. And then you would see a cross, right? So it's
Mm.
again going back to what the message was in Kedarnath, right? We are all same, we are all souls connected to each other with our hearts. And so it's not about Christianity or Hinduism. He has a cross there. And then, which means I think he was totally ready to even get sacrificed while executing his goal.
Mm.
And so it's all about, hey, we need to be ready and we need to be committed with him on this mission. So he knew. I think when he tattooed, it was like, it was not a thought which came to his mind, but it was like I'm engraving my goal on my body and it'll
Oh,
be there until I live, right?
yes.
So it's a symbolism. I think I feel so connected with with all of this, what he stood for. So yeah, so that's about the tattoo. And let me see what was next. Oh yeah, next is my poem. So I'll read that in Hindi. हिंदी में लिखी थी, but मैंने
Mm,
उसको translate भी किया है English में. So if
mm.
we in the end we have time, I can do that. But for now,
Absolutely.
I'll just start with Hindi.
Mhm.
Okay. सो मैंने इस पोएम का टाइटल दिया है अगेन, एक बच्चे की गुहार, राइट? लाइक व्हाट डज दैट चाइल्ड एक्चुअली is asking for,
Okay,
right?
got
And so before I recite this poem, I once again, I know Sushant, you are here, and so I want all the audience to connect with his energy, and then as I recite this poem, envision what has gone through his mind while uh, he was having these feelings. He was collecting his thoughts. He was coming up with the plan as to what needs to be done,
Mm.
what he really went through, right? So let's all just feel it. The more we feel, the more we'll feel connected with his mission. And then all other illusions or speculations, whatever are happening around us, I think will just wash off. So let's just try to connect with his energy. Um, so Sushant, again, this one for you. एक बच्चे की गुहार, and he talks about, when I say he talks about, I am talking on his behalf. Um,
Mm.
so he talks about his goal and बोलते हैं कि लक्ष्य एक ही है तुझे पाने का माँ, right? So he's talking to his mother and saying लक्ष्य एक ही है तुझे पाने का माँ, तुझे फिर से उपजाऊ बनाने का माँ, अ, एक बीज से पौधा उगाने का माँ, प्यार और ममता से जागृति लाने का माँ, राइट? सो ही इज टॉकिंग टू हिज मदर एंड ही सेज कि मुझे और कुछ नहीं चाहिए, राइट? आई वांट यू टू बी हैप्पी. एंड ये जो बीज है, लाइक अ थॉट विच केम टू हिज माइंड, he wants it to flourish, right? He wants to execute that, to make his mom and all the mothers happy. And then how is he going to do that? He wants to bring that awareness in the society and let that seed become a plant and a tree. And he wants to do that with love and compassion. No compulsion, nothing. He wants the people to actually connect with him, be aware, and then spread the awareness, right? I think he has never forced any of his thoughts on anything, anybody. And it's just his plea, I think, for us to be aware, right? So once again, लक्ष्य एक ही है तुझे पाने का माँ, तुझे फिर से उपजाऊ बनाने का माँ, एक बीज से पौधा उगाने का माँ, प्यार और ममता से जागृति लाने का माँ. And then he moves on and says कि थॉट आया, ठीक है, गोल है, बट कब उनको ये थॉट आया, उन्होंने कैसे इन्वेशन किया? So I'm again, all of all of these four paragraphs of this poem, I had connected with his dreams. So अगर आप बाद में जाके इसको एक बार फिर से सोचते हैं तो you will see that it started to connect with his dreams. He says how I came about it is एक शिखर पर चढ़ के, right? एक शिखर पर चढ़ के मौसम को निहारा मैंने. So he says कि when I was at peak of my career, right? I looked around how things were happening, how things were executed in the city,
Mhm.
Mumbai, right? And in general. So he says, एक शिखर पर चढ़ के मौसम को निहारा मैंने, पर्वतों के घेरे में मासूम झरनों को निखारा मैंने. So now he talks about children, right? वो बोलते हैं कि पर्वतों के घेरे में means maybe people who are stuck, right? Kids who are
Mhm.
stuck, moms who are stuck. पर्वतों के घेरे में मौसम, पर्वतों के घेरे में मासूम झरनों को निहारा मैंने, right? So he says innocent kids, right? I
Mhm.
looked at them as how they were treated.
Mhm.
सब्र का बांध टूटा, right?
Mhm.
सब्र का बांध टूटा तो एक उड़ान भरी, right? And then he looked at that, he looked at those situations maybe for over multiple years, and then he couldn't bear it, right? So
Mhm.
बोलते हैं कि सब्र का बांध टूटा और एक उड़ान भरी, right? He made up his mind. एंड चांद पर जाने का इरादा कर, चांद पर जाने का इरादा कर, एक उड़ान भरी. Right, so again linking it to his dream,
Mm,
right? He wanted to go on moon on that expedition, but here we are talking again about awareness,
mm,
about his crown chakra opening up, right?
mm,
That he really made up his mind, and that phoenix rose, and then he
mm,
says, okay, एक शिखर पर चढ़ के मौसम को निहारा मैंने, पर्वतों के घेरे में मासूम झरनों को निखारा मैंने, सब्र का बांध टूटा तो एक उड़ान भरी, चांद पर जाने का इरादा कर एक उड़ान भरी. राइट, एंड देन ही मेड अप हिज माइंड. देन वो बोलते हैं कि अगेन, and all this didn't happen when people say, right? I heard some videos, people asking उनको काम था या नहीं था, उनको मूवीज मिल रहे थे कि नहीं मिल रहे थे, right? तो just wanted to reiterate that all this happened when he was at peak of his career, right?
yes.
Not
Mm,
when he didn't have work, or
yes.
he didn't have right movies to work on, but at the peak, right? Then he decided it didn't matter. It didn't matter whether he finished his engineering degree. To him, he was always passionate about what he was passionate about. He
Mm,
didn't care whether he has to now leave his career and go talk to authorities about what is happening,
mm,
right?
mm,
It happened when it happened. He did what he did at the right time. So right
mm,
time mattered for him.
absolutely.
Um, and then, so that's why when he was famous, I say, हसरतों की तालियों के शोर के बीच, right?
Mm,
When he was becoming famous, when he was getting awarded, when he was getting movies, हसरतों की तालियों के शोर के बीच गुप्त खेल खेल कर, right? And there is a hidden meaning. I'll not say who he was or who he is. गुप्त खेल खेल कर मैं फिर लौह पुरुष बना, right? We call him Iron Man. That's one of his dreams as well. फिर लौह पुरुष का इरादा कर, right? फिर लौह पुरुष सा इरादा कर सूर्यास्त से पहले, right? So here again there is a symbolism. Uh, he's saying सूर्यास्त से पहले, like before it is too late. That's the symbol here. घरौंदों को उठा बस एक डगर चला, right? So he picked up घरौंदे, like we call it, पक्षियों के घरौंदे होते हैं ना, कि पक्षी again children, right? कि I made up my mind and now I'm on my righteous path. So again, हसरतों की तालियों के शोर के बीच गुप्त खेल खेल कर मैं फिर लौह पुरुष बना, फिर लौह पुरुष सा इरादा कर सूर्यास्त से पहले घरौंदों को उठा बस एक डगर चला. And then he says, okay, now I have a goal, I made up my mind, I know what is happening here. अब मैं आगे कैसे जाऊंगा, right? How am I
mm,
going to execute my plan? तो बोलते
mm,
हैं कि जंगलों को पार करता, जंगलों को पार करता नीले सागरों के बीच, जंगलों को पार करता नीले सागरों के बीच, नीले पंछियों की टोलियों में ढूंढता सिपाहियों के बीच, न था तीर कमानों का डर, न तूफानों का डर, विष का प्याला पीता यह नीलकंठ गाता चला, ये नीलकंठ गाता चला. सो बोलते हैं कि नो मैटर मुझे कितने जंगलों के बीच में से जाना पड़े, कितनी भी नीले सागरों से जाना पड़े. एंड देयर इज अ सिंबलिज्म हियर. जब वो बोलते हैं कि नीले सागर, नीला सागर, ही टॉक्स अबाउट ब्लूज, राइट? एंड ब्लूज इज बेसिकली फॉर माफिया. So he's saying no matter how many mafias I have to fight with, no matter how many problems or obstacles I have to go through,
mm,
वहां पर सिंबलिज्म है जंगलों का और सागरों का, राइट?
mm,
जंगलों को पार करता नीले सागरों के बीच, नीले पंछियों की टोलियों में. सो हियर आई जस्ट ट्राई टू यूज ट्विटर एज एन एग्जाम्पल, कि वो कनेक्टेड हैं हमसे किसी ना किसी तरह, उनको पता है, वो रीड कर रहे हैं हम क्या ट्वीट करते हैं, वो रीड कर रहे हैं कि वॉरियर्स का क्या माइंड सेट है, कितने कंफ्यूज्ड हैं, कितने क्लियर हैं, क्या नैरेटिव्स फॉलो कर रहे हैं, राइट? सो नीले पंछियों की टोलियों के बीच ढूंढता सिपाहियों के बीच, राइट? सो ही इज लुकिंग फॉर पीपल हु कैन बी हिज वॉइस. And Sushant, yeah, we are here today, right? Angie and I. So hopefully it worked out. So ऐसे ही like millions of people who are connected, right? We have various channels. So he says again, जंगलों को पार करता नीले सागरों के बीच, नीले पंछियों की टोलियों में ढूंढता सिपाहियों के बीच, न था तीर कमानों का डर, न तूफानों का डर. So he talks about storms, right? Whatever has happened in last 2.5 years, um, he he's I don't think he's scared or he's worried to come back or anything like that. Whatever
Mhm.
he's doing for the country, right? He sees that
Absolutely.
maybe there is uh, maybe there are certain things which needs to happen before he can come back, right? So yeah, na tha तीर कमानों का डर ना तूफानों का डर, विष का प्याला पीता. And we call him Shiva, right? We call him, he has a energy of
Yes.
Kalki. We call him Ram, we call him Krishna, right? No matter which name. And I know there are people उनको बुरा भी लगता है कि he is a normal human being, हम उनको क्यों गॉड बना रहे हैं, राइट? बट अगेन इफ वी सी कि गॉड अपने दिल में बसते हैं, राइट? ही वांट्स ऑल ऑफ अस टू बी गॉड एंड गॉडेसेस who
Absolutely.
can form, right? Who can form our own mind, pick a cause and then work towards it, right? He wants all of us to be
Absolutely.
the burning man or woman. So yeah, so that's why I think we connect him with the gods, because he has some qualities or characteristics of each of those, right? जैसे कृष्णा ने
Absolutely.
सही बात और सही रास्ता दिखाया अर्जुन को, राम ने इनजस्टिस को नहीं सहा, एंड देन he dedicated his life to bring Sita home. So I think a lot of symbolism here, right? Here it could be making mothers happy, right? It could be bringing all the children back home, connecting them with their mothers, right? Then we talk about Kalki energy. I don't know much about them, but again, I think they stand for, again, fighting against injustice, right? So all of that is
Absolutely.
just symbolism, right? The qualities he stood for. So yeah, one more time, I just recite the whole poem. I know I had been doing a lot of commentary, but just to connect the dots, right? एक
Yes,
बच्चे की
please.
गुहार, या श्योर, एक बच्चे की गुहार, लक्ष्य एक ही है तुझे पाने का माँ, तुझे फिर से उपजाऊ बनाने का माँ, एक बीज से पौधा उगाने का माँ, प्यार और ममता से जागृति लाने का माँ. एक शिखर पर चढ़ के मौसम को निहारा मैंने, पर्वतों के घेरे में मासूम झरनों को निखारा मैंने. सब्र का बांध टूटा, सब्र का बांध टूटा तो एक उड़ान भरी, चांद पर जाने का इरादा कर एक उड़ान भरी. हसरतों की तालियों के शोर के बीच गुप्त खेल खेल कर मैं फिर लौह पुरुष बना, फिर लौह पुरुष सा इरादा कर. सूर्यास्त से पहले घरौंदों को उठा, बस एक डगर चला, जंगलों को पार करता नीले सागरों के बीच, नीले पंछियों की टोलियों में ढूंढता सिपाहियों के बीच. न था तीर कमानों का डर, न तूफानों का डर, विष का प्याला पीता एक नीलकंठ गाता चला, गाता चला. Okay, so
Beautiful.
I
yeah,
just
you
want to
liked
take
it,
this
Pujadi?
opportunity, Bab. It was
Sure.
your poem was beautifully written, and for a person like me who cannot read Hindi, um, I want to thank you for explaining, in detail. Is very beautifully written, and thank you for sharing with everybody your beautiful poem. And yes, I also want to take this opportunity to thank all fellow warriors. Everybody has, worked really hard, trying to decode the truth in their own way. Maybe today we have put a different spin on things. Maybe people will now um, have the opportunity to think on this angle that we have raised today, even though many warriors have this thing in the back of their mind, that maybe things are related to trafficking. As you know, एक बात निकल आई थी केस में, वो minor wali baat, but I don't want to go into details about that. But I mean, we can make correlation, right?
Yeah.
That he takes, um, this issue very seriously, and you know, we all should actually do our part, because children, you know, they're वो भगवान के रूप होते हैं, and they're very precious, and these type of calamities should not occur. So wherever we are in the world, if we just you know, do our part, as you said, if we spot something, let's report it. You know,
राइट राइट। एनजी आपका थोड़ा आई थिंक ऑडियो चला गया है। या या बट व्हाट एनजी वाज ट्राइंग टू से, एंड शी हरसेल्फ उन्होंने खुद रिपोर्ट किए हैं ऐसे इंसिडेंट। आई थिंक वो यू नो आई विल नॉट गो इनटू डिटेल, जो भी वो काम करती हैं वहां पे जब भी कुछ सस्पिशियस दिखाई देता है, यू कैन जस्ट स्पॉट। आई थिंक आई एम नॉट बीइंग नेगेटिव अबाउट दिस पूजा दी, बट कई बार ऐसा होता है ना कि हम क्राइम देखते हैं, कुछ गलत हो रहा है हम देखते हैं, या तो हम बोलते हैं कि मेरे पास अभी टाइम नहीं है, राइट। लेट्स से मैं ऑफिस जा रही हूँ, राइट, मुझे कुछ दिखाई दिया और मुझे टाइम पे पहुंचना है, तो हम बोलते हैं कि अरे यार मुझे पहले मैं मेरा देखूं, राइट, मैं पहले मैं ऑफिस पहुंच जाऊं, लेट नहीं हो जाऊं, राइट। एंड बाकी चीजें तो चलती रहती हैं, या तो मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है अभी, या फिर इट डजंट कंसर्न मी क्योंकि मेरी फैमिली सेफ है, राइट। सो आई थिंक हमें उस थॉट प्रोसेस से थोड़ा बाहर निकलना ही पड़ेगा, बिकॉज वी नेवर नो कि कब किसके साथ क्या हो जाए, राइट। एंड दैट्स एग्जैक्टली व्हाट Sushant is all about, right? It didn't matter to him what happens to his life. It didn't matter to him what happens to his family. It didn't matter to him when he would be able to come back or whether he'll be able to come back. Right? It doesn't matter to him. Nothing matters to him, right? तो अगर एक इंसान जो नॉर्मल इंसान है, राइट, जिसने नॉर्मल जिंदगी जी है अपनी तरह, अगर वो ऐसा सोच सकता है, तो इवन इफ वी कैन डू लाइक 5% ऑफ व्हाट ही डिड, राइट, या घर नहीं छोड़ना, जो कर रहे हैं वो नहीं छोड़ना, बट एटलीस्ट जो हमें आसपास दिखाई देता है उसको प्लीज इग्नोर ना करें, राइट। अगर आपको पता नहीं कि कहाँ रिपोर्ट करना है, प्लीज फाइंड इट आउट, राइट। मे बी गो टू अ नियरेस्ट पुलिस स्टेशन इफ यू आर सीइंग समथिंग गेटिंग रिपीटेड। आप अगर पूजा दीदी से आप कनेक्ट करें, एंड देन शी कैन कनेक्ट anybody who's interested, you know, all of you to us। एंड जितने भी मैंने ट्वीट किए हैं, इट इज ऑल रिसर्च बेस्ड as to how things happen in particular households, how things happens in corporates, how things happen behind the scene politically, right? So हर जगह we can make a difference, not just about child trafficking, human trafficking, any cause you are connected to, please stand up, and then be part of the solution. Let's not rely on government. He did not rely, I mean, he must have, but not when this thought came to his mind, right? He figured his way out as to उनको किसका support लेके ये सब execute करना है, but जब थॉट आया होगा तब उन्होंने ये नहीं सोचा होगा कि हाँ अभी मुझे ये करना है, अब मैं किसके पास जाऊं, राइट, मुझे ये करना है, मैं ये करूंगा, राइट। एंड सो आई थिंक वैसा अगर हम माइंडसेट रखेंगे तो इट जस्ट अ मैटर ऑफ टाइम कि our country will be, I mean, it's already progressing, right? We call ourselves a developing country है, but I don't think so. I think we have developed enough. It just अपनी awareness को थोड़ा और broaden करना है. Yeah, so that's about it. And one tweet I read, Pooja di, just coming before uh, to this session, and I think it's again Sushant wanting me to talk about that. As you say, right, he talks, he really, really talks, and I can share one of my experience which happened in office also. So just wanted to read this tweet, and it's all about energy, frequency, and vibration, right? Why are we together? Why are we here? Either on Twitter or on this channel, it's all energetically, we are all at the same frequency, we have the similar thoughts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this I'll just say that in English, this thought, right? It says we are living in a holographic matrix, right? We talk about matrix, like हमारी जैसी प्रोग्रामिंग हुई है बचपन से, हमें जो सिखाया गया है, हमें बोला गया है कि अरे तुम तुम्हारे ऊपर ध्यान दो, तुम्हारी फैमिली पे ध्यान दो, बाकी सब हो जाएगा, या गवर्नमेंट कर लेगी, या देर आर अथॉरिटीज, राइट? सो वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट मैट्रिक्स, लाइक हाउ टू कम आउट ऑफ दैट. They say that we are living in a holographic matrix, right? Thought materializes reality on this planet as vibrating light that is brought in through a magnetic electromagnetic frequency, right? So it's the thoughts which we feed to ourselves which makes it our reality, right? So when we talk about मैं ये नहीं कर सकता या ये नहीं कर सकती, वो क्यों ऐसा होता है? क्योंकि हमें बताया गया है कि ऐसा नहीं हो सकता, right? So we
Absolutely.
need to start to think about how we change our vibration, how do we vibrate at a different frequency, and especially because we are all connected with Sushant, right? So
Absolutely.
again, we are living in a holographic matrix. Thought materializes reality on this planet as vibrating light that is brought in through a electromagnetic frequency, right? And then thus that we see or think of as a solid reality is a hologram created through thought, light, and sound, right? We are
Absolutely.
nothing but uh, people or souls living in a matrix. How the ideas are fed to us, that's what we execute. So it's up to us to change our thoughts,
Absolutely.
vibrate at a higher frequency, connect with the right souls who had or who have a goal, which is for humanity. And then we will see that our thoughts will also start to change, and we will be part of a society and be part of a solution than somebody who's just raises a problem and then thinks that it will be solved by somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think this is what I had, Pujadi. And one appeal, we were also thinking कि हम और क्या कर सकते हैं. तो हम लोग ये सोच रहे थे कि ऑडियंस में अगर कोई आईटी में है या फिर जिसके पास थोड़ा टाइम है, जो हमारे लिए मे बी फेसबुक पेज सेटअप कर सकते हैं जहाँ पर हम लोग अपने थॉट्स और थिंग्स लाइक एनीथिंग विच वी रीड decode अबाउट ड्रीम्स एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट हम लोग वहाँ पर मेंटेन कर सकते हैं. तो अगर कोई ऑडियंस में है, प्लीज रीच आउट टू पूजा दी and then we can connect and see how we can be part of the solution, and how can we help Sushant taking his goal further. So yeah, with that, that's about it. I think again, from NG's and my behalf, we really, really want to thank you for this opportunity. I know it's very difficult to set up a channel and then bring people along. So आपके जैसे लोग जो सुशांत के लिए रोज प्रेयर करते हैं, पॉजिटिविटी स्प्रेड करते हैं, लोगों को बताते हैं कि कैसे बैलेंस में रहना है. एंड आई हैव यूज्ड दोज मैसेजेस फॉर माई सेल्फ व्हेन आई फील सो डिमोटिवेटेड कि क्या हो रहा है सुशांत, इतना टाइम क्यों ले रहे हैं, केस क्यों सॉल्व नहीं हो रहा है, इतने सारे नरेटिव्स हैं. कभी कभी मन करता है कि बस ट्विटर से भी ऑफलाइन हो जाओ, जब आएंगे सुशांत तब आएंगे, राइट, कनेक्ट कर लेंगे, so yeah, I think being in that balance energy is very, very important. And being on that righteous path, selecting a cause and then connecting with that and doing, making a difference at our own level is very important. Please do spread um, true information about Sushant and his mission with friends and family in your society, at religious places when you go. Please spread the information. Being the country we are, there are about, I think data shows that 800 million users हैं जो online होते हैं. Most of them are youngsters and children. उनको शायद ये बात आज समझ नहीं आए, राइट, कि क्या होता है ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग में एंड ऑल दैट. बट पेरेंट्स जो ट्विटर पे नहीं हैं, जो आपका चैनल देख रहे हैं, they can make a big difference. They can go talk, go to schools and get some slot and talk about these things, right? It's not a taboo topic at all. And then teach the children right values, be safe while playing games online, be safe by connecting to right people on social media. It's growing fast, TikTok and Insta. So please keep a watch on your kids. उनको भी सिखाएं, उनको भी बताएं ताकि ये ट्रूथ भी spread हो सके. So yeah, with that message again, Pooja di, and thank you from NG and my side and Sushant's side. Sushant, we are there with you. We are your power and strength. So yeah, thank you, Pooja di.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you for coming, and thank you, Angel. Thank you to both of you. And yes, आपने एक अलग perspective दिया है. Rather, it has been part of it, सुशांत के mission का. But the way you elaborated it, I think बहुत सारे लोगों के लिए बहुत जरूरी है ये करना, और हम सब के लिए जरूरी है एक general awareness. And you are right कि हम देखते हैं किसी के साथ कुछ हो रहा है और फिर हम अपने पे फोकस, वो विभोर बोलता है ना, सबको भगत सिंह चाहिए लेकिन पड़ोसी के घर में चाहिए, अपने घर में नहीं चाहिए. तो आई थिंक एक मिशन पे रहना कि हम देश के लिए, हम अपने, और दिस इज नॉट इवन फॉर समबडी एल्स, सुशांत के लिए नहीं है, देश के लिए नहीं है, अपने ही बच्चों के लिए है, अपनी ही फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए है. तो यू आर डूइंग इट फॉर योर सेल्फ ओनली. सो वो थोड़ी मेरा घर, सिर्फ मैं, मेरा घर वाली मेंटालिटी जो है ना, उसको छोड़ने का टाइम आ गया है. एंड इट इज टाइम टू थिंक अबाउट द फ्यूचर जनरेशंस, क्योंकि आज किसी और का बच्चा किडनैप हो रहा है तो कल को वो हमारा भी हो सकता है, कल को वो किसी का भी हो सकता है. एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट to spread that awareness and also to take the right steps. So yes, thank you so much for bringing that forth. And the poem is beautiful, and the way you explained it made it even more beautiful. So that explanation makes it even more beautiful than जब आप पोइम पढ़ते हो और जब आप उसके डेप्थ समझते हो, तो it is very very beautiful. And yes, Sushant is, I am sure, right here, और बहुत जल्दी he will be out here, and we are all his warriors, and we'll do everything that we can do. And I think we've made a collage जिसमें there are more than 50 people. उन्होंने पूरी commitment करके that even if their children or their family or they are at stake, और या उनको अपनी life भी stake पे रखनी पड़े, they are all ready to sacrifice everything. That's the commitment I think that we that he's looking for, that we need, and we are already one step into it. So yes, I think we'll do it all.
We
And
love you, Sushant, and we thank all the light workers, all the true warriors who are working towards justice and righteousness in this world. Thank you to all of you, um, all of you workers, all of you true warriors. Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you, Angel.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sushant.
Angel.
We love you, Sushant. Love you, Didi. And
Love
and
you.
then Angel, will come back with some more information, and then we'll
Don't
be
worry, back
connected
for
with
you.
the. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
Message from Sushant. Okay, and there are more than one. Okay, so wow. Okay, so I have a lot of cards for you. First is Queen of Pentacle. It is a energy of being grounded or kind of seeing the beauty in everything. Second energy, standing firm on your ground and for the right things, so raising your voice. Third is taking the leap of faith, looking at the light always. And the heartbreak that you feel at times, or the emotional setback that you feel at times, come out of that, and you know lot of things that are in you, that are around you, and rest. Follow your intuition. I think this is one thing that he's saying, that stand firm your ground, keep yourself grounded, don't let emotions rule you, follow your intuition. And he is there like a guide around you. And hermit card came from NG also, so he's definitely around both of you. That energy is there. Just the only thing is that yes, balance your emotions, don't focus on emotions more, and focus on the right targets more, and listen to your intuition. Very important, very important. So
Thank you,
thank you
Pooja
so much.
Di.
Thank you, Pooja di.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Pooja Di.
everybody who joined the session also and gave us the opportunity to hear us out. Thank you.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you. Bye
bye.
bye.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. ओके गाइस, सो अब हम कल मिलते हैं, कल करेंगे। एंड आई रिमेम्बर आरजे ने अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना है। शी टोल्ड मी सच अ लॉन्ग टाइम अगो, और फिर पहले स्ट्रीम यार्ड का हो गया, फिर कुछ कुछ होता रहा। तो आरजे वी विल टेक दैट अप। अगर मैं कल एक्सटेंड कर पाई थोड़ा सा तो वी विल डू इट कल जोडिक्स के बाद। इफ अगर कल नहीं कर पाई तो एज सुन एज वी आर डन विद द जोडिक्स आई विल गेट यू ऑन, and we will definitely listen to your experience again. और okay, okay precious, मैं एक लास्ट कार्ड निकाल देती हूँ, एंड देन मेरा किचन जो है वो बहुत जोर जोर से पुकार रहा है अब। इट इज 8:22, सो मैं एक एंजल कार्ड निकाल देती हूँ, एंड आई विल ट्राई कि मैं ये जो, क्योंकि लाइव बहुत लंबा हो गया है, तो मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि मैं इसको स्क्रीन रिकॉर्ड करके, और जो एक्सपीरियंस शेयरिंग का पार्ट है, और जो मतलब जो जोडिक का पार्ट है, प्रेडिक्शन का, आई विल पुट ऑल ऑफ इट इन सेपरेट वीडियोस सो दैट यू गाइस कैन सी इट। ठीक है, सो मैं एक लास्ट कार्ड निकाल देती हूँ। ओके, सो वी हैव अ योगिनी। तिरम्वा पदा 56 नंबर का कार्ड है। 5611 भी बनता है, एंड शी इज एक्चुअली किलिंग अ डीमन, इफ आई एम राइट। मैं एक बार इसको देख लेती हूँ बुक से, बट इट इज लुकिंग लाइक शी इज किलिंग अ डीमन। और 56 द तेरामा, द पावर ऑफ एक्शन, दिस कार्ड इज ऑल पावर ऑफ एक्शन। और ये योगिनी जो है, इट इज ओके, इट इज बॉर्न आउट ऑफ सेक्रेट मंत्रास, एंड इसीलिए वो बहुत, उनका बिल्कुल क्लियर और अनपॉल्यूटेड माइंड है, उनकी स्ट्रेंथ बहुत स्ट्रांग है, और वो किसी भी डाउट और रिग्रेट से फ्री हैं। उनकी डिवाइन एनर्जी जो है वो हार्मनी में फ्लो करती है, और वो स्ट्रेंथ देती हैं हर एक राइट एनर्जी वाले इंसान को टू स्ले द डीमन दैट रिसाइड इन अस। तो फियर को दूर करती हैं, डर को दूर करती हैं, और लिटरली डीमंस को मारती हैं, और उनको कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं होती है। आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाट ही इज सेइंग, दैट देयर इज नो कंफ्यूजन, देयर इज नो regret, there is no negative feeling, there is no doubt. I am very clear कि कौन से demons slay करने हैं, and I am all set to slay them all.